We then break for lunch and return to the Bate an hour later to assist Edmundo in his leadership training course. Select members from the Bate are invited to attend in hopes of gaining the tools to better conditions for themselves and the rest of the community. It starts with a brief presentation by a couple of little girls, and then we get serious. Today's topic is what words come to mind when we think of leadership. There were a lot of suggestions. We then break into small groups and elaborate on these suggestions. A man in my group, who is studying music and is attending seminary school, had a good philosophy.
A leader is someone who loves his followers. He does everything in order that his followers end up moving forward.
Once we get home, it doesn't take the group a long time to pass out after such an exhausting but enjoyable day with the kids. Day 6 has a similar agenda to the day before, as we head to the Bate early to meet with the children. Today's art project is a pinwheel, seemingly simple and boring, but to a Dominican child is a lot of fun. They run around for hours, blowing on them and using the wind to make them spin. In the midst of all the chaos, I'm able to pull a few kids aside and ask them what they want to be when they grow up.
Adulto. Policía o presidente. ¿Qué quieren hacer? Policía. Yo quiero hacer Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse.
He wants to be Mickey. Any kid that wants to be Mickey Mouse when he grows up is worth spending some time with, in my opinion. Just like almost all the children in the Bate, Jerry is a sweetheart, constantly seeking our attention and always down to play any game. When I pull him aside to ask him a few more questions, he gets a little shy.
Sí. ¿Cuántos?
Dos. No.
¿Tienes mamá? ¿Tienes mamá? ¿Y papá? No, papá.
This lack of a father isn't uncommon in the Bates, or even in the country as a whole, as 30% of households are missing a father, who in most cases got the girl pregnant at a young age and left her to raise the child on her own. This difficult situation often forces women into prostitution, which is legal in the Dominican Republic, but that's a subject that we'll take on in more detail later. After spending a little more time bonding with the kids, we're done for the day, so we say our goodbyes and head home. We pile into a new van the next morning because the other one needed to get work done after some kids from the Bate had put water in the gas tank. The new van has a television on the dash. While this is cool, it's a little unnerving to add another distraction to the already dangerous Dominican driving style. If you haven't noticed so far, the only traffic law is that there are no traffic laws. Using a method of honks and flashing of lights, drivers navigate the roads fairly successfully without speed limit signs or even the slightest regard of stoplights or other regulations. With such recklessness, one would wonder where the police are to regulate this. But traffic isn't the only problem in the Dominican that the police are overlooking. With an abundance of drug trafficking and violence, the police seem to let a lot slide. This is oftentimes because a lot of them are corrupt. Ariadna de Sueza, our host mother, has several ties with the police and was able to offer some insight on how things have become this way.
One of
the causes is the organized drug trafficking. Globally, a majority of the drug traffickers strategically find a position in Latin America. The Dominican Republic is the main point in the middle of South America, Central America, and the United States. The country is in a key position to transfer and consume drugs.
Because an average police officer's salary ranges somewhere between $100 and $200 a month, officers constantly accept bribes, rent their uniforms to gangs, or get involved in the drug trade themselves. But back to the car. Today we head to the Bate to enjoy more time with the kids. Today's art project is a little more unorthodox. In order to teach the kids about recycling and taking care of their environment, they are instructed to pick up trash around the Bate to make art projects out of. After everything is gathered and brought back to the church, things look a little messy. But before long, projects start coming together and we are able to see some pretty impressive projects made entirely from trash and plants. After some baseball, and clowning for the camera, we invite the adults in and begin another leadership training course. Today we focus on identifying the problems in the Bate. Members of the community meet in groups and then present all the issues that they think are most important. The most popular concerns that rose were the lack of employment, the trash, housing repair, violence, and transportation. After the Bate, we head to the waterfront with the guys. We blast some music, meet some interesting new friends, and drink some plastic bottled wine. Yet again, we visit the Bate. Today we help kids write plays that they later perform with puppets and funny hats. For those that easily get motion sickness, I apologize. This video is courtesy of Jerry, the 3-year-old boy we met earlier. After that, I decided to ask some of the kids what they thought the problems of the bate were, and Uberka came up with some of the same issues the adults did the day before.
There's things I don't like the violence, the attacks from men, and the trash. What I would like best would be that our countryside would be a clean place to live, that we don't contaminate our environment.
With this, the kids head out and we meet for the leadership training again to discuss ways the community could help solve the problems that were discussed the day before. One man suggested that they use their talents to raise money.
She can do a dress. Right. She can do a dress. She do the dress, she sell it, and she bring the money. I can build a chair.
Right.
I build a chair, I sell it, I get
like a fundraiser type thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And then another woman pointed out that they should use their resources that they already have around them.
We have a lot of sugar cane. Many people here are working in it. We have the cattle from whom we can learn to produce beef, cheese, butter.
After things wrap up, we head home and sleep easy after finally seeing signs of hope for the bate. The weekend has arrived, and with it, so have the tourist activities. Saturday, we head to a bate in the countryside where we all get a chance to ride Ariadna's horse and play with some of the local kids since we don't get enough of that every other day. Sunday, we head to the beach and enjoy some more sun and a few innings of baseball. While there, we notice a lot of animals. Pets are pretty common in the Dominican Republic. You might say, when they're already poor, why are they getting pets that they'll have to pay to take care of? The simple answer is they don't. Most animals are strays, and the ones that aren't are rarely taken care of properly. That dog up there is in heat. They put her on the roof because they don't want her to get pregnant and can't afford to get her fixed. Just an interesting quick fact for you. Americans spent $45 billion on their pets last year. We all love our animals, but don't you think there's someone that needs a few bucks more than your dog needs a new sweater? Trust me, he doesn't like it. In the morning, we head to the Episcopal Hospital. It is one of the few medical treatment centers that anyone can be treated at no matter how much money they have, because it receives funding from NGOs and other nonprofit organizations. The main illnesses they end up treating are tuberculosis, cholera, and hundreds of AIDS sufferers. When I asked if they treated undocumented Haitian immigrants, she assured me they did. This is rare in the Dominican, however, as according to Manolo, who employs several Haitian immigrants, most of them end up running into a lot of difficulties.
The main problem is that there's no way to pay them for the jobs that they do, and it's impossible for us to give them Social Security benefits. And it's impossible for us to give them medical and health attention. It's also impossible for their kids to go to school because they have no documents.
All these issues, along with being generally hated by the Dominican population, lead to a very difficult and dangerous life for Haitian immigrants. There's one place many Haitians can normally find jobs, however, the Free Trade Zone. That afternoon, we head to one of the poor communities in San Pedro that is literally called Death Beach, given its name because sewage is dumped in the ocean there. The conditions are terrible, likely because most of the community works in the Free Trade Zone. For those that aren't aware, a free trade zone is a certain part of, typically third world countries, where normal taxes and tariffs are lifted in an attempt to attract outside countries to outsource labor there. It's here that workers are paid a minimum wage of what I've been told ranges from $35 to $60 per week for 44 hours of work. I spoke to a manager from the Free Trade Zone that insisted she stay anonymous, but was able to give me some inside information. The Dominican Free Trade Zone is currently made up of about 300,000 workers, but is losing almost 5,000 per year due to a new emphasis on tourism in the DR. Several American companies are currently taking advantage of this cheap labor. Here's just a few. These are members of RAP, an organization that assures fair treatment of workers overseas. While they still pay only enough for their workers to barely survive in this type of housing, RAP ensures that they at least work in decent conditions, unlike other companies, where sexual harassment and other unbearable conditions are everyday occurrences. We finish our walk through the community and come out to a well-paved, nicely kept road, unlike the trashy dirt road a few feet away. This road has been freshly paved because the president recently christened an aqueduct up the road and wanted a smooth ride there. Just another example of the rich abusing their power.